In a world where podcasts are necessary, you're listening to the Flannel Panel.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Flannel Panel Podcast. The first in-person panel.
Yeah, pretty crazy stuff. I think we're moving up in the world a little bit.
We're here for real. You can see it. We have a glorious set with us today.
Oh, yeah.
As you can see, joined by some NBA pros.
For sure.
Legends.
I mean, the all-time big three right there. What a fun time that was.
Even Pikachu, man.
So if you couldn't tell by the set, today we're going to be talking a little bit NBA Finals preview. Pretty crazy playoffs we just went through. Obviously pretty tragic for us Sixers fans.
As it always is.
Yeah, it's like, as hard as it is to be a Philly fan, being a Sixers fan in particular has been unbelievable lately.
Because the other teams, at least they make it to the finals and break your heart.
Yeah.
But, like, even when it was like a meme, like, oh, they might make it to the finals and lose, they were never. They were never
making it past the second round. That's just how it goes.
So
that's how it's always going to go.
It was very sad. So, yeah, we're going to hop on today, break down some of that playoff basketball.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like it's been going on forever now.
It
looking
does.
back at some of these old games.
I mean, like, looking back at the dates, it's been a month and a half. Like,
it's been a while.
Crazy,
it's been a minute.
Crazy. But yeah, we're just going to start with the play-in tournament. I'm looking back, and starting with the first game, literally the first game right off the jump was Atlanta and the Heat lost, which,
yeah.
I mean, for a team that's now in the NBA Finals, the 8th seed, putting themselves against the wall, like, right away. Crazy stuff.
And to lose to the Hawks, like...
Who would ever do that?
Yeah, never. Never us. Losing in the summer to the Hawks, never.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it was definitely a rough start, and it makes it seem like even crazier that they got this far.
Without a doubt, I mean, it made the odds even more nuts. Which
they got a chance now, but that locked them in as the 8th seed, rather than they were actually the 7th seed going into the play.
Exactly,
but now they're an 8. So
true.
And then obviously they passed through the next round. I think they beat the Bulls, who knocked out the Nick Nurse-led Toronto Raptors in the play-in game.
Might be talking about Nick Nurse here in a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah. So then. Going to the west side of things, the Lakers beat Minnesota in overtime in their first
game. Which was
game.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Because Minnesota, to me, never really stood a chance in these playoffs.
No.
The Lakers were always just, like, sneaky really good.
I mean, dude, it's LeBron, it's AD.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
They had a tear at the end of the year. So they were a team that I was
coming in hot at the right time.
Very excited about.
And, yeah, I may be wearing a Minnesota jersey.
There's other reasons.
Other reasons. I mean, obviously, got to rep Jimmy Buckets. I got this on sale when he came to the Sixers, so it was as hype as
I think I remember you getting that.
Yeah, we definitely went together. It was a King of Prussia Mall. But that was pretty awesome. So then, yeah, moving on to the next slate of games. Chicago beat Toronto to then go into that final day of things, knocking Toronto out, and Oklahoma City beat New Orleans, ending their chances. So then Minnesota goes on to beat Oklahoma City. Obviously, we said Miami won. I mean, of course they won. They're in the finals.
Yeah.
But
if they didn't win, they wouldn't be here.
It's true.
And then that set up the brackets for what was a pretty entertaining first round.
For sure.
Specifically in the West. It was a wild
crazy
West.
Stuff all over the place.
The Eastern Conference went pretty much to plan, other than,
obviously,
the Heat.
Our underdogs, dude. Like,
exactly. I mean, they really started off with a bang. Obviously, Giannis was hurt for a couple games.
For sure. I mean, I think that I don't want to say it's forgotten in all of this, but who knows where we would be if
when you lose the unstoppable force that is Giannis.
Yeah,
it's a big impact.
One of, if not the best players in the game. Like, it's crippling. And yeah, I mean that gave the Heat a great start to things.
And it is funny when Milwaukee lost. Giannis said, and this is one of many memes. The NBA, their meme content is supreme. It's beautiful.
But I didn't realize you were such an NBA memer.
Oh, 100%. That's what I work. I'm like just sitting there, so I just scroll Twitter, and there's so much content because there's games all the time.
That's great.
But Giannis was like, I mean, we're built to win an NBA Finals, and they were like built to win the series. Like, that was the difference. And now the Heat are in the NBA Finals, so it's wild. Like,
for sure,
it kind of backfired a bit, but
without a doubt,
what can you do?
Yeah, I mean, so the Heat won that series in 5 games, which was a pretty blazing start. Other than that, the East, yeah, like you said, played out pretty much as expected.
We
the
got
Knicks,
got to deal with
beat
irrational New York for a little bit,
without
which
a
is
doubt.
always fun.
Without a doubt. I don't know why I was really high on Cleveland. Like I had a couple parlays rooting for them
that did not
with
work
some
out.
monetary interest that did not go as planned. And then obviously the Sixers sweep Brooklyn, which was a great feeling.
Which is the most classic Sixers first round playoff I've ever seen. Like, I don't know how, but we always just end up playing some team that everybody knows is trash. And we just, like, genuinely, out of the East, they were the worst. They were the worst.
For sure.
And we just crushed them.
Oh, they were a joke, which was great. And especially, coming off the Ben Simmons, James Harden trade to then just absolutely whoop the team
Yeah, it was
that we
beautiful.
got from. I mean, it was awesome.
Especially because our last game of the regular season, we played them. So we actually beat them 5 times in a row,
yeah.
which is it's very fun.
Cannot beat that.
It's a little demoralizing, but
and then Boston beat the Hawks.
they did drop 2 to the Hawks, and I will say this kind of was the start of
For sure.
wow, they're kind of shaky. Because to me, Boston has always been this team. We'll get to them later, obviously. That were just like kind of unstoppable when they get hot.
For sure. And I mean, especially like the way they were just chucking up shots this postseason. When they were going in, they were unbeatable. But when they weren't falling, like you saw it in all 3 of their series, like they couldn't get it done in any other way.
Yeah. So, and they are just going to keep shooting. I just had to look it up here. They attempt 42.4 threes a game,
It's unbelievable.
which is an unbelievable amount. I mean, the Warriors popularized it, but they
For
also
sure.
have Steph Curry.
Exactly. Like when you have Steph and Clay, 2 of the best shooters of all time, like that makes sense. You're going to utilize them. But when you're the Celtics, I mean,
It's a little different.
you've got some firepower, but not that. I mean, Jason Tatum's out here going over 8 from deep.
I know.
Like, that's killer.
We'll
That's
get into
killer.
it, but
For sure. I don't want to laugh at their pain yet.
as far as the Western Conference, Denver
Break it down.
just kind of handled Minnesota. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I
was
mean, as
really
expected.
Surprised that they dropped a game, to be honest.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, as I said before, Minnesota repping them, but not
great.
expecting a whole lot from them
Especially with, right before the play-in game, really to bring up team morale. Rudy Gobert decided to punch his own teammate in the face, which is just a really good way to. First of all, being a new player, getting traded there, and being like right before your first playoff run, just absolutely punching some other dude in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Because who knows why?
Who knows? Yeah,
Because you're
exactly.
French.
True. Yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of bad publicity over the years, we'll say. So
And it's just such a
really adding to it there.
It's an organizational L.
For sure.
To move the farm, to trade for this guy.
For another big, which I'll never understand.
To then have him be a head case, bench him, and then be like, oh, wait, we need you in the playoffs. Like, come back. And then lose in the first round anyway.
For sure.
And then we went to the Russell Westbrook is not cooked series, where the Clippers had every single player get hurt except for Russell Westbrook. And actually, they played pretty well. I can't believe they won one game against this Phoenix team.
Oh, without a doubt.
And they played them close in most of the games.
Kept it tight. I mean, Phoenix is a team that a lot of people really liked coming into the season and even into the playoffs liked. And obviously, when you make this splash that is Kevin Durant,
Unbelievable.
there's going to be big expectations.
Absolutely, yeah. And he and Book single-handedly took that team.
Yeah,
as far
I mean,
as
they
did.
are one crazy dynamic duo.
Yeah. But the next series, this is playoff basketball at its finest.
The best.
I mean,
the best.
The Golden State Warriors versus the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento have nothing to lose, right? Like, they are just playing balls to the wall. First time they've been good in my lifetime, I feel.
Yeah. I mean, this is really the culmination of a while of putting this team together.
A lot of time.
It was one hell of a series, and obviously your defending champion, Golden State Warriors, will come on top here in 7 games.
And
but
win it in 7, yeah.
A great way to start the playoffs.
Especially like a team that had such crazy road and home splits as far as defensively, to win Game 7 on the road in Sacramento.
Yeah,
it was crazy. I mean,
can't bet against Steph.
Yeah, I loved it. That was a great
until
series.
the next round, but
yeah,
we'll
get there.
Then you can close it out.
Yeah, and then we hop into the Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies.
What a series this was!
Which was like the most incredible series. I mean, this was the definition of like, if you come at the king, you best don't miss,
dude.
And like, they win one game in the playoffs, and I don't respect LeBron. LeBron's old.
Yeah, he's
like,
old. He's
this
washed.
stuff.
Got nothing left in the tank. Like, I don't know what Dylan Brooks was thinking. I guess he was trying to pull a Lance Stevenson, but boy, did that backfire for him.
The ultimate, like, certified troll. Like, on a team of players that, like, people do not like.
I mean, you got
People
John
hate him the
doing,
most.
like,
Crazy stuff out there.
crazy stuff. So,
But Dylan Brooks, I mean, he's going to China. He's playing like he's not going to get picked up. I don't think by anybody.
I wouldn't think so, dude. I mean, look, like,
I can't believe he started for them for so long.
pretty crazy stuff. And yeah, I mean, to like immediately be like, "There's no way you're coming back next year." Pretty rough for the kid.
Yeah, another good meme. The picture of Adam Silver saying, "Have fun learning Chinese, buddy," and it's Dylan Brooks.
Yeah,
but I mean, it happens.
I mean, look,
He did make
that's how it
second
is.
Team All Defensive this year
For sure.
which is wild.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, there's a reason he's going to defend LeBron.
Yeah, I think that the Grizzlies, when there was no heat, no pressure, no eyes, they were so good. But they just exploded somehow, like so quickly, and you can't do that against the Lakers.
No, dude, not against LeBron. Like,
who are incredible this year.
got to be able to play on that big stage against the King. But yeah, that wraps up the first round. Moving on to the second round, jumping back over to the East. The Heat took out the Knicks in 6 games. Just them continuing on the road, obviously shutting down New York is always good.
It was wonderful, especially like after they won the first series, and they're like, "Oh, we're playing an 8 seed, yo, we're about to cook."
Exactly.
Tyler
we're
Hero's
going to the
Kurt, like,
semifinals.
no,
Not
and
at
then
all. Not at all.
I think they won the first game. And Jimmy did not play, and then they just absolutely scored 3 straight wins. I think they lost the game, but then they closed it out in Miami.
Yeah.
But it's always great to see New York lose.
So
it is
so
just
good to
such
see 'em
a
go down.
wonderful feeling.
Yeah, like just seeing the Knicks continue to do their thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's great. It
Bing
really is.
bong, and they're gone.
Yeah.
But as quickly as they went, the Philadelphia 76ers also went.
They sure did. 7 games to the Celtics.
This was like a throw the jerseys in the fire type of series.
It was painful.
It was so bad, especially when you win Game 1 in Boston.
In Boston, dude. I mean,
without Embiid.
we couldn't have felt better, and it was great to win one without him. And when you're questioning your team's depth, and then you win without the MVP,
That's incredible.
it's a pretty good sign.
You got B-ball Paul out there.
Pretty good sign.
actually
of things to
playing
come.
some B-ball.
Oh yeah, dude, grabbing boards it was great. Obviously, then lose game 2, bring things back home to Philly, and I thought we were just gonna close it out.
Yeah,
I really did.
The amount of me watching us play basketball. I always tell people this watching the Sixers. Every game there's like a 2-minute span where we play the worst basketball I've ever seen.
Ever known to man.
They up it every time. Like bad turnovers, no defense.
Yeah.
Just people aren't even running down the court. Like we don't even get shots up. It's like we don't play basketball for the first 14 minutes of the shot clock, and then we ISO Embiid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's terrible. And I remember in Game 4 watching it and being like, it's okay. They just don't want to win. Like that's
That's what
genuinely
it looks like. And some of the runs we allow is just inexcusable.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable. I don't. And then at the end of Game 6, they just looked like they did not want to be out there.
Yeah, I mean,
Blowing that lead, and I mean, obviously credit to Jason Tatum. He went off.
Well, that was the thing is Tatum was not very good in the series.
No,
especially early
definitely
on.
not.
And that's always the thing with these good teams, right? They will put you away.
Mm-hmm.
If you start off slow, if you can't keep up, they will put you away. Because
Exactly.
the longer you hang out, the better chance you're going to win the game.
For sure. I
honestly.
mean, it goes to 7, and then obviously the Celtics cook us in
And then
Game 7.
They blew us out on Mother's Day, man.
Yes.
We were in Cape May, and I was like, all right, sweet.
Yeah.
The game's at 3 or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's a couple hours ride home. I'll be able to watch the end of it. No. I'm spending time with my mom. This is not worth it.
Yeah, dude,
We stink. By the time
I
I got home,
turned
the
it
game
off.
was over. I
I
was
turned
like,
it off.
I love my mom too much. I'm not doing this.
What a good kid.
I know. That's shout out to my mom.
Yeah,
She's the only one who hasn't got shout out yet. So
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's great.
I know she wants it.
Um,
And then we move on to the Western Conference.
well, do you want to talk about Nick Nurse now or later?
Yeah, true. So we should talk about the current state the state of the Sixers address, I guess.
Yeah. I think just two main things. Obviously, the hiring of Nick Nurse is going to change things a whole lot. Well, the firing of Doc.
Yeah, the firing of Glenny Balls. Get out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tony. Tony's been on the fire Glenn train for a long time.
For sure.
I wanted Glenn, so I didn't want to admit.
I mean, dude,
but it was bad.
Some of the pedigree he had in the past really makes you think that he could put it all together and have this be a championship team.
Yeah.
I don't know. It needed to be the end. It did. I'm not sure totally how I feel about Nick Nurse. Coach of the Year 3 years ago, title 4 years ago. That's great.
It is.
It's recent success, which is nice. And I mean, he's shown that he can utilize his depth really well with that team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this team is going to look like.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Harden will be back.
Yeah, that was when I said the two things. That was the second thing. I feel like he's not going to be.
There's a lot of talk because some people are saying he wants more money, so he's trying to kind of negotiate it in there.
Yeah,
I'd be okay letting Harden walk. I really am. If this is where he is, he's not going to get better.
No, it's definitely true. I just don't know, what else we can do. I feel as though we're kind of backed into a corner.
That we have to keep him. We can go get a free agent or whatever. We need to make proactive moves.
No, you're right.
Like the Lakers did, right? Where Lakers go out and get guys like Vanderbilt who aren't kind of there yet, but can help the team.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than us, we're going out and we're getting PJ Tucker.
3
years past due.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, even Harden.
I love PJ
was past
Tucker.
it. Exactly. You have to be able to plan for the future a little better.
So we'll see. I think it's exciting. People are excited for him. I kind of wanted someone who we hadn't seen before. We don't know.
Yeah.
A assistant somewhere fun, but I don't know. I don't know enough about basketball head coaches to get that.
No, me neither.
So getting a guy who's ex-coach of the year is always nice. But
I just hope that he can work well with Embiid, our MVP, and I mean that would be a great foundation. So that's. It's
not the worst job to walk into.
No, certainly
with the reigning MVP.
Certainly not. I think there's many more, and I mean I feel like there's a reason this was one of the first head coaching dominoes to fall.
Yes, yeah, he was the guy everybody wanted.
So that's the state of the Sixers. More to come on that.
Yeah,
should be an interesting summer with all those moves that are going to happen.
We just need to draft Bronny. I'm all in, dude.
Yeah.
Trade the farm, draft Bronny. And just see what happens.
We'll see. I mean, I think if you do that, there's a good chance that LeBron comes.
Dude, he's coming.
I would kill for that.
He's coming. We can move on here to Denver, Phoenix. Wow,
yeah.
We lost in the second round. That was so long ago. It's because it was a 7-game series.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, Phoenix had their every postseason Chris Paul injury.
Of course.
I know it's not fair to say it's his fault, but it is demoralizing for the team.
Without a doubt. First off, it happens every year. And that's a tough piece to lose. Obviously he hasn't been playing on the level of KD and Booker, but it's still Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm. You don't just replace that guy, and
he can't get it done in the playoffs. And I mean, maybe the injury is just his way of being look, guys, I know that this is not going to work out.
I'm out of here. So we'll see. They're in an interesting position.
They're in a very interesting
I saw them as a potential landing place for Glenn Rivers. I would love that. That would be awesome.
I feel like that could be.
But it's crazy. I mean, Devin Booker had an insane playoff. Mm-hmm. Was probably the best guy in the playoffs, and they got knocked out.
Yeah.
And it's because they didn't have anybody else other than those two guys. Even Ayton wasn't that good.
No, I mean, look, it's tough when you're going against Jokic in the paint, but
Jokic is out there fighting your team owner. I don't know how you can stop him.
Yeah,
so
you can't.
What a flop that was from the owner. And they dapped up the next game. I don't know if you saw it, but Jokic is trying to get the ball in the stands, and the owner comes up to him and is like, "Hey," and Jokic pushes him off, and the Suns owner falls on the ground.
Oh man! At least they made up.
A classic LeBron flop. So
yeah. Well, we get to see a couple of those in the next year.
We're gonna take a quick timeout here.
Sounds good.
A word from our sponsor.
Hello, sponsor.
That we don't have. And we are back. A little quick delay of game there on the offense, but it's okay. We're back. Changed up the views a little bit,
just
but
a small penalty.
Here we are.
Okay.
Better than ever. And we're about to talk
definitely better than ever.
Lakers, Warriors.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I mean, an all-time great series.
Fantastic. I mean, really, this is what the playoffs is about.
For sure. I mean, like, getting to see Steph versus LeBron, that's all you could ever want.
Yeah.
Like, personally.
One more time.
I hope not.
We'll see. So,
crazy stuff.
The Warriors were a team that I was always like, they're just gonna win the whole thing. And the same way that I was last year with them, that I'm like, they have Steph Curry, and
that's just how they do it. And to see how clutch Steph was at the end of the last series, like, it looks like he's just gonna carry them all the way.
But another meme arose from the ashes. Jordan Poole. There were no baddies in the crowd, and Jordan Poole did not play well.
He did not have his superpower, and that's
after game one where he had to he took like a 40-point three-pointer to win the game, and watching all of his teammates defend him and be like, yeah, it was a good shot. That was a good shot. After everyone knows it's not a good shot.
Oh, without a doubt.
But the best was Tyrese Halliburton, who plays for the Pacers, was like, I would have shot that. And Channing Frye, who's like now on TV, looks at him and goes, yeah, that's why you're here and not playing. And I was like, dude, you just got roasted by Channing Frye.
Fried up.
That's it.
I think Halliburton would have hit it over Jordan Poole.
No, I mean anybody over Jordan Poole at this point.
So true. Oh, man. Yeah, his playoff magic certainly ran out.
Faded very quickly.
Without a doubt.
But, I mean, I think the Lakers were just a little too much for him. They were just too big. AD was the most, like, on and off, like, hot and cold superstar this whole playoff.
Without a doubt.
It was literally every other game. If you look at his splits, he'd go.
And it's almost as if they win every other game.
Exactly. 40 points, 7 blocks to 15 points and 2 rebounds. Like, it was crazy, the difference. And there's simply nobody on the Warriors who can guard it.
Not at all. I mean, I think that's been a flaw of theirs in their entire dynasty run, is just lack of interior.
You're telling me Andrew Bogut doesn't...
I mean, look, he got the job done. He did, for sure. And then they draft James Wiseman a few years later, and it looks like, oh, my God, they finally have their big. Not the case. So
yeah, he's gone. Rotting away in Detroit. It is Detroit.
Long gone, dude. I was really hype on him coming into regardless.
It would have been cool. But, alas, the Lakers won to then get swept by the Denver Nuggets in the next round. The only other sweep of the playoffs.
That's crazy to think about, yeah.
The Sixers and the Nuggets. Only teams to sweep.
Almost like that. That should have been the finals
matchup. But yeah, so Denver really impressed me in the series.
Without a doubt.
They just took care of business, and it was really impressive. And Jokic was phenomenal. We did not talk about him a lot, and I think we're going to now.
For sure. So, I mean, definitely saving it for getting into the end here. But, like, he's the best player in the world. I definitely feel like over the last couple of years, I've said some mean things about him because I didn't want him to be the back-to-back MVP when I felt Embiid would be. But, like, this year, after seeing Embiid win the MVP and just watching what Jokic has done in the playoffs, like, it's been unreal. He can do it all. He truly can. It's pretty amazing from a big.
And the thing with me, and I'm a big proponent of this in basketball, is you have to have your killers. Like, you have to have someone who at the end of the game is going to go out.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about one in the next series.
But unbelievably so, Joker hit some really, really hard shots down the way.
He hits just like crazy shots, like it's normal.
He's putting the ball back behind his ear,
just falling back and just chucks it up.
And it's
insane.
I think that they're a great team, and they're finally putting it together. Jamal Murray
for sure.
Is playing like he's in the bubble again.
Look, I've always been a fan, and it's great to see him really rolling. Like, I don't know how much you can count on him to be an absolute world beater in this next series, but when you don't have to be the best player on the team, he's excellent.
Yeah, as a number 2, he's fantastic. But yeah, I mean, it was hard to see the Lakers get swept.
Yeah, I mean,
they got swept.
After the first 2 series, there was certainly some hype building, and it's like, wow, are they going to win a title for real? That's not in the bubble.
It was so cool, honestly, to be like, here it is, like LeBron's last run, but they ran into a brick wall.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty tight the whole series for the most part, but they just were just never able
to get across the line,
dude. Yeah.
LeBron said that he's thinking about retiring.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to retire.
I don't either. I mean, we've been talking about it for years at this point, but there's no way he doesn't wait to play with this kid.
Yeah, he's playing with Bronny.
It's like a year.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's just got to make it through one more year without him. And
I could almost see him taking a year off, and I don't know how this would work contract-wise, but taking a year off and then signing wherever Bronny gets picked.
I mean, I think that's kind of how it's working with his contract.
For sure. It has been for years. Like
he's going, dude.
He's been planning it out. But yeah, dude, just this series, you truly see why Denver is overwhelmingly the title favorite.
Yeah, and it's, they've been imperious at home, which is a great thing to be when you have home court advantage for the entirety of the playoffs.
Yeah.
But they had a really cold end of the season. Like people don't remember, they had the same record as the Sixers at the end of the year. And then they just got hot. Like they're cooking right now.
Look, getting hot at the right time is really all you need. I mean, we see that with the hot team on the other side of things, literally. But I don't know. They're looking pretty unstoppable going into this final series.
Absolutely. And their opponents will be the unlikeliest of teams. Miami Heat.
Without a doubt. Led by the stone cold killer that is Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, and Jimmy Buckets, I just love him so. It's so sad because when he was here, he was the freaking man.
He was unbelievable.
And then when he left, I hated him.
For sure.
When you said I've said some terrible things about you, I remember when Jimmy Butler left, I was like, go to the Heat and go lose every game.
Dude,
who cares?
I said the same. I planned to talk about it, but I had like a lot of really rough tweets directed at Jimmy Butler. Like, I'm not a frequent Twitter user, but I remember busting it out, being like, I got some stuff to say.
Yes.
I said some stuff about have fun sitting on the beach every June because you'll never be in the playoffs again. I think I called them a loser. It was rough. The tweets are since deleted. They're gone.
You have to erase the evidence, dude. Get it out.
Because it was just like a bad breakup. But you you come around a couple of years later and maybe you want to be friends again.
Honestly, 100%. I mean, it's when he really won me back was last playoffs when he beat us, and he was like, "Yeah, of course I want to still be here," and I'm like, "Oh, dude,
right,
like we still want you to be here."
Exactly.
And to me, like we were freshmen in college when he was on the team. Like now
that's crazy.
Yeah, like now we're graduated, right?
Yeah,
certified washed. And
so true.
He's still thinking about it. Like, that seems like it was so long ago. But, I mean, him and JoJo seem to be good friends.
No, they were great. And, like, I even remember, I think maybe the summer after, there was, like, some rumors of, like, Joel trying to go to the Heat to play with him. Yeah. Obviously, I don't want to live in the past, but boy, did we make some bad decisions in
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Regardless, this series was excellent. Rematch from last year's Eastern Conference Finals, in which Jimmy said they'd be right back in the same spot next year.
Yeah.
And here we are.
And it was unbelievable to go up 3-0. And for me, like, I was just... Boston are the team that I want to have as a Sixers.
Without a doubt.
I've always wanted a wing who can just ball. Like, Paul George is one of those guys that I was like, I would move the farm to go get somebody like him. And the fact that they have two, like Jaylen Brown, who had a bad series.
For sure.
And Tatum, obviously, like... It's just crazy.
Jason Tatum's unbelievable.
I wanted them, that's the team that I want. Technical difficulties. We're going to go to camera 3.
No, camera 2.
Whoa. But so basically, I don't even know what I was going to say here.
Dude, all I'm going to say is that to have chosen Markelle Fultz over Jason Tatum.
Yes.
After having made that trade, with the Celtics saying that they got the player they wanted the whole time anyway, really, really hard to look back on.
Yeah. But I give a lot of credit to Boston. In Game 3, it looked like they were done. They were going to go home.
Oh, without a doubt. They got stomped.
This was a team, Boston, who, as we said previously, they dropped 2 games to Atlanta. They lost 3 games to the Sixers. They were down in Game 6 to the Sixers. They could have went home.
They were very close.
And now they're down 3-0. And then there was the meme of, hey, don't let us win a game. And then they won a game.
Yep.
And then they won another game. And then they won another game. And now it's Game 7. And I'm sitting there thinking,
anything goes.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way they don't win the series.
I think that a lot of people felt that way. I mean, the betting odds went that way for the last couple of games, actually. I just, if any team was going to do it, it was going to be that Celtics team, of course. And, like, Game 6, the Heat fighting back, taking that lead at the end. You know, it looks like, okay, good. We don't need to worry about Game 7. Like, we got it. And I don't know. I did not think he got that shot off in time, in real time. Mm-hmm. But, like, it wasn't really even that close.
No.
Unbelievable.
I thought he got it off, and I was just sitting there in shock. I couldn't believe it.
Of course, dude. But to allow the inbounder to pass the ball, have the guy miss a three, and then just run back behind the board, grab the ball, put it right in 1 second, hit perfectly off his hand.
And it's tough not to
nobody could stand in his way for 1 second.
It's tough not to double Tatum.
Without a doubt.
Off the inbound. But.
Without a doubt. You're right. But I just think after that shot goes up, need a little more spatial awareness.
And then obviously This was the crazy thing with the series is every game kind of was a blowout except for Game 6. That was the only close one. Really so that's when I was like, if they get the close one, they're going to walk it. But, you know, the Heat won 3 games in Boston. Boston dropped 2 games there to the Sixers. And they also dropped a game there to the Hawks. You can't do that in the playoffs.
Not at all. Not at all.
That's what I would look at.
No, not in the Garden, dude.
Ultimately. And I know Tatum got hurt and Brown had a bad game, but I mean, Jimmy Butler got hurt in the first game of the series. They're playing without Oladipo and Hero. It's, you know, when you're letting Caleb Martin, you know, absolutely cook you. Some guy that no one had heard of coming into the playoffs. It's, you know, you got to win those games. So.
For sure. I mean, just not even put up 100. Like, it was... It was over.
Bird did another good meme.
Pretty quickly through, yeah.
The meme of Jaylen Brown saying, "Don't let us win Game 8." That's a really good one. That one makes me really happy.
Thank you for your meme culture.
Yeah, dude.
That's great.
NBA memes.
Don't let us win Game 8.
Yeah, dude. NBA memes.
That's excellent.
They're so good.
I'm gonna have to study up a little bit more before the series starts.
There's a great one. It's like a 2-second clip. And it's great for any time there's an absolute collapse of just people watching like a car on fire and it just explodes. And it's like every time Boston comes back to Boston, explosion. So, it's good. True. Good memes.
Yeah, so here we are.
In the finals, Miami, Denver, hot versus cold.
Unbelievable, dude. Yeah.
It's going to be a crazy series. Miami are the first 8 seed to go since the Knicks did. I just looked it up.
That's dude. Oh, my God. I heard the other day, but
I'll have to find it. Oh, I got it. Yeah, Knicks. They did it in 1999, and it was after the lockout where
wasn't even born yet.
Well, sucks for you. I was alive.
No, I mean you probably weren't either.
Probably
it was 99.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's been quite a while. I mean, obviously Denver's going to be heavily favored going into this. Rightfully so.
And they have that home court advantage, which, as I said, they're imperious.
They're cooking.
And we're talking about Miami won 3 games at Boston. It's going to be really hard. Hard for them.
For sure. I truthfully think this series is going to come down to stopping Nikola Jokic, which I don't know that there's a great way to do that.
They got Bam Adebayo. He's the one who has to do it.
Which, I don't think he'll be able to keep up with him. I saw one thing today. I think it was Undisputed. And they said that Miami's going to have to attack the rim, that Jokic is not like an elite rim defender. Yeah. But in looking into the statistics, Miami scores less points in the paint than Denver.
Yeah.
So like if you can't even win that battle, and that is something you want to be your focus.
You gotta do.
So I think that'll be very interesting to see how they can attack defensively. But offensively, I just think he's going to be unstoppable, and you can't really count on your Caleb Martins of the world every single game.
Yeah, unfortunately. But it is crazy if the Nuggets win, they're going to win. They're going to beat an 8 seed, a 4 seed, a 7 seed, and another 8 seed. Like that's crazy.
The
teams that they're running into, but like you can only beat the teams in front of you, and I do think the Nuggets are going to win. I'm a proponent. I'm a believer in Denver.
Look, I certainly do agree with you in that sense. I think for good content, like we should disagree. And I certainly
look at that.
I want the Heat to win without a doubt.
That was a good pose. You should do it again for the camera. Camera 2.
I love Jimmy, and I would love to see him just put this team on his back and take it to them. But like Denver heavily favored. Looking at all these like experts and their opinions, every single person is picking Denver to win.
Yes. But with that said,
The Heat. Go Heat. I think it'll be great. I
think the Heat are the people's champion.
For sure, dude.
We're all going to hear.
They have been counted out like crazy, and they just keep winning. One thing I'll say is that they won in 5, then they won in 6, and then they won in 7. There's no game 8.
Yeah, don't let them win game 8.
to Jaylen Brown's opinion.
Oh, man.
That scares me a whole lot for no reason. Like, that obviously means nothing,
yes.
But I don't think they're going to.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think we're going to cheer for Miami
for sure,
as much as we can. They get Tyler Hero back.
Yeah, which will be nice. I mean,
who crazily was hurt in the first round of the playoffs and is now back. I remember thinking, like, oh, that sucks. Like, his season's over. And now
I would have thought
he's going to be back.
Look, who would have thought? And we'll see how much of a difference he can make. You know, I will say that, like, Miami has some decent bigs. Bam, obviously, will be the leader of that. I think that Cody Zeller's a big body.
Cody Zeller is so bad.
He's terrible, but he's a big
so
body.
Bad.
And I've always been a believer in Kevin Love.
Yeah.
5 trips to the playoffs. 5 trips to the finals.
That's crazy, man. It's Kevin freaking Love.
So, I don't know. I don't see a world in which the Heat win, but...
And I do want to shout out Coach Spo. Eric Spoelstra, man. Taking a team that, like... Yet again, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, but they were down and out. No one cared about the Heat this whole time.
Not
they
at
were
all,
playing. They lost a playing game.
Not at all. No, I mean, like, obviously, he's been around a long while now.
Yeah.
Gets no credit for coaching the Big 3 team because
look
who you're coaching. Like, nobody gets credit for coaching LeBron, dude.
Look at Ty Lue, bro.
But the success that the Heat have had recently, since acquiring one Jimmy Buckets, it's incredible.
One Jimmy Buckets, yeah.
I'll take one Jimmy Buckets, please.
I wish we had one Jimmy Buckets.
Yeah.
I wish we had it and didn't give it away.
It's true.
Tobias Harris over me.
Stop. Toby, Toby.
But yeah, it's been a wonderful playoffs. It's been super fun. And let's just get an official. I'm going to go Nuggets in 6. Yes.
I'm really conflicted.
No, Nuggets in 5. I'm picking Nuggets in 5. Yeah, because they're going to win 3 games at home, and I think they're going to steal a game in Miami. Like, Jokic isn't going to the beach, bro. You think he's getting burned on the beach, bro? He's staying in the gym. He's balling, bro.
That's true. He would definitely.
He's focused up.
Without a doubt. I mean, their whole team is just more talented. Like they. But I mean, the Celtics were more talented too. So you just never know.
I feel weird counting them out, but it's tough, man.
I really want to pick the Heat for content.
Do it.
But I just feel like they look like such a scrub when they get swept. Heat in 6.
Heat in 6. There it is.
Go Heat, baby.
That's the official.
And Benito Ami.
I think that'll be a beer bet.
Yeah.
My beer might have to be a little more expensive than his if he wins it, but that'll be a good one.
I feel like we usually shake on it, but obviously this is the first time you get to see it.
Yeah, you get to now it's real. You know what I mean?
It's true.
But that's gonna wrap for us today.
For sure.
We know people have asked for the YouTube content. Let us know if you liked it. If you're listening on Spotify, then check us out on YouTube as well. Same thing, Flannel Panel.
And I think we add a lot of comedy, having our
now that we're here.
Faces here.
I mean, and you gotta see the set.
For sure. The
set is incredible.
It is elite. And, to prove that we are 2 flannel clad lads who just love talking sports.
It's here.
Can't beat it.
Shout out to Deucer Delaney in the background.
Thanks.
Deucer Delaney. Shout out to her. Her YouTube will also be in the description. Maybe even the Instagram.
Exactly.
We can also link that up. So check her stuff out.
We'll
it's
link it
great.
all up.
We're going to link up your channel.
Yeah, dude.
Anything going on there?
Not recently, but I hope to have some more pack openings soon. # Super Saiyan Poke Trainer.
There it is. But we appreciate everybody for listening. I hope you all enjoy the finals. Enjoy the summer. Who knows when we'll be back. Probably be Eagles talking in the spring.
Can't wait.
Or in the fall. But it'll be great.
Yeah, enjoy the Heat, everybody.
See ya.
Peace.